Although I have never been a good mathematician and lacked the sufficient skill in calculation, yet to the best of my comprehension, even to the little knowledge that I possess, India, having declared herself an independent country as early as on August the 15th of the Gregorian year 1947, completed her 75 years of independence de jure. I query and raise the question upon my own mind and invite my fellow citizens of this country as well as my fellow global citizens to raise the question, how much have we truly progressed during all these decades before which our forefathers sacrificed themselves, their personal interests, and on many occasions, their lives. They dreamed of an India free of prejudice, free of discrimination, free of poverty, free of class system. And no doubt, introducing a constitution hardly 3 years later, precisely, promulgating the constitution on the 26th of November of the Gregorian year 1949, followed by the Indian Republic Day on the 26th of January. The 26th of January, 1950. India de jure also abolished caste system. I wonder, even as a person who has completed his 60 years of life circle, whether we truly honor either our Constitution or our Republic Day, let alone our true Independence Day or the true spirit of our Independence Day of 1947, followed by the Constitutional Day, 26th of November, 1949, followed by the Republic Day, 26th of January, 1950. How far have we come? During all these 40, I beg your pardon, during all this 5th, I beg your pardon, during all these 75 years of our independence. We take pride calling ourselves an independent nation, an independent country. We even venture to call India a Desh Mata, which means the motherland, the mother country. But do we really understand the conception of motherhood? How a reasonable mother feels about her children's going to bed hungry, about her children's being enslaved. I'm speaking about children with an apostrophe S, of course. Her children suffering, day upon day, night upon night, week upon week, month upon month, year upon year, decade upon decade. For the past 7 decades and a half since her achieving her independence, de jure, theoretically? How far have we come? Forward, de facto, if I may ask the question. To my own self, my fellow citizens of this country, and my fellow global citizens of the world. Can a mother be satisfied if she sees her children suffering? Can a mother be relieved if she sees her children being enslaved, even as illegal slaves, as victims of human trafficking and illegal slavery? Can a mother rejoice seeing the tears of pains and agonies in the eyes of her children? I think not. And therefore, I have neither the spirit of rejoicing today nor the spirit of celebration. I sit in my own little chamber wearing the sash representing the Indian flag, which should be something like this: the color saffron on top, in between white and blue, and the basic color green. Saffron representing self-sacrifice, also known by the clothes worn by the eremites or hermits of this country since time immemorial. White is supposed to represent purity, not merely purity in color, but purity in spirit, which means independent of prejudice, or free from prejudice, free from discrimination, free from poverty, free from illegal slavery, free from oppression, free from injustice, free from inequity, free from inequality. Another country not far from my own has been celebrating their first anniversary of liberating, as they call themselves, their country from a foreign regime. But the question remains the same for them and for us: whether we are truly free if we just free ourselves from a foreign power or from foreign rule without freeing ourselves, our fellow citizens, our fellow global citizens, the children of our motherland, or our motherlands in plural. I just heard the heartbreaking news of a mother in that country which has been celebrating its first anniversary of independence from a foreign regime. But a mother felt practically constrained to sell her 6-year-old daughter to marriage because she could not feed her daughter in that country, because she wanted to obtain that money in order to feed her own children, the remaining ones. This happened in that our neighboring country. What about our own country? How many children are we feeding today without expecting much more in return from them? in that particular country which has been celebrating its first anniversary, is oppressing women and girls, exploiting them, depriving them of education. Are we any better off in our country? Domestic violence is increasing day by day. Various acts were promulgated by the Indian Parliament, including Section 498A, to protect brides from being tortured mentally or physically, or even killed. Section 354 of the Indian Penal Code was altered a number of years ago after a monstrous incident took place on a bus in the Indian capital, New Delhi. To the best of my remembrance, even though I may be wrong, this was in the year 2012. When a young lady was not merely violated, but suffered agonizing death in the hands of 4 young men who have no doubt also been sentenced to death and were hanged a number of years ago. But are we still better off? Have we learned anything truly? I referred to 3 of the colors, but the 4th color, blue, represents loyalty. Loyalty towards our country and nation. Loyalty towards our fellow citizens. Loyalty to our fellow global citizens. Remembering the fact that India is a founding member of the United Nations organization. Wherefore, India owes allegiance to all the other member states of the United Nations organization. And no doubt, India is duty-bound and remains duty-bound to obey and honor the Charter of the United Nations organization, even called the UN Charter. We have a duty, not merely within our country, but as a fellow member of the United Nations organization, or I should say the states thereof. We have a duty to speak out and try our utmost within the framework of the United Nations organization to ensure that people, including babies, children, women, and also weak men, are protected by all of us. We call India a motherland, but we need to remember the motherhood consists of affection towards the children, her true loyalty towards the children, as the children owe loyalty towards their mother. My apologies. We have no opportunities of giving up. 75 years have gone by. We progressed little. We need to speed up in order to ensure that we become a worthy member of the world community as a whole, based upon true humanity, in protecting the weak and in serving the needy. bidding you the protection of the same Almighty Creator who created all of us, even the citizens of a secular country like India, based upon the Constitution of India, which prohibits discrimination of any and every kind and type. I remain at your service and say, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.